This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello everyone, my name's David Edgar, I'm the host of Heart and Hand, the Rangers podcast, and I'm joining you tonight live from Ibrox Stadium after Rangers drew 1-1 with Sporting Braga in the Europa League. And I suppose it depends if you're a glass half empty or a glass half full person. You might think, if you're the former, that Rangers got our first Europa League point of the season, and you will feel, if you're the latter, that we should have had three, that Rangers gave away a win tonight with a silly error from Nasser Giga that cost us a goal, and then just not performing in a situation that we should have sawn out. Rangers were a goal up, Braga were reduced to 10 men for the final quarter of the match, but as I say, Rangers then conceded a really poor goal, and after that were not the dominant side. The match started, I think, quite quietly. This was a low-quality match. The conditions weren't great, I'll say that. It was very windy out there. But Braga, they settled first, and from about 10 to 20 minutes were the better side. Had two chances, Jack Butland with an excellent save, and Rangers were looking our usual slightly confused and sluggish selves. Rangers did get more into it as the half went on, and I would say in the 15 minutes up to half-time were the better side. We actually began to create a couple of chances, and certainly Danilo should have done a little bit better with one after Rangers put together a nice move. But then right on half-time, Rangers were forcing a bit of pressure. A corner came in and was cleared. Nobody seemed to claim for anything, but the next game was stopped. It was a VAR check, and on closer inspection, it was a handball in the box by the Braga player. It was a penalty, and it was tucked away by James Tavernier. And Rangers came out in the second half, and again I thought had the better of it. It wasn't a great game, there wasn't an awful lot happening in it. This Rangers team doesn't create much at all, and it badly lacks creativity all over the field. You can't really say that there's a lack of effort, there's not. It's just too much perspiration and not enough inspiration. And after 67 minutes, Braga went down to 10, one of those non-headbutt forehead in the face things on Nico Raskin. The ref looked at it in VAR and it was given. And at that point then Rangers really should have gone and killed the match, but instead we sat back and the goal we gave away was horrendous. It's just a lofted ball into the box. It's coming down. Yes, it's windy, but Giga misjudges it and heads it straight to a Braga player who puts it away. And after that, Rangers, I thought, lost their composure. The manager threw on an extra forward in Miovski to try and go for it, but Rangers didn't create anything really. A few set pieces and crosses, but nothing came to it, whereas Braga could have nicked it right in the last minute. After Jack Butland flapped at one, it was cleared, thankfully, and he made the save from the rebound. This is not a good Rangers squad. If anybody was wondering why Kevin Thelwell was sacked, that is why that squad. The defence is missing, I suppose, the first two defenders in Suter and in Cornelius. And I thought Fernandes tonight was fine. I thought in both games he's coming on and he looks as though he might be a player for us. Giga's a very poor footballer, and I'm glad he isn't our player and can be sent back and we don't have to purchase him. But the midfield it lacks the ability to play killer passes. It gives the ball away far too much. All three tonight were guilty of that, Raskin, Barron and Diamande, and we have nothing up front. We really don't. Tonight we started with Danilo, Chermite and Gassama. Gassama, to be fair, does offer a bit, and if he had a few players around him, I'm sure would look a bit brighter, and he at least does contribute some things, but Chermite, it seems almost that it's become fashionable to say, I don't want to pick on him, it's not his fault the money was spent on him, and that is true, but he's a very poor footballer. He doesn't look like £1 million player, never mind an £8 million one. He offers nothing. Danilo simply doesn't have the legs at all to contribute very much. You'll get the odd thing here and there from him, but he was third choice last season for a reason, and Miovski has been a real disappointment as well. Rangers need players in the January window. That's no shock, that's not news to anybody watching this. This is a terrible squad. Even off the bench tonight, Antman came on, did nothing, has done nothing. Asgard came on, did nothing, has done nothing. Rangers are a side that are devoid of quality in key areas, so it's really, can we get through to the January window with as little damage as possible? The manager is having to try to find solutions to these many problems, but when your big problem is they're just not up to it, then that's a very, very big problem to overcome indeed. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll be back on Sunday when we take on Falkirk. Until then, enjoy the rest of the week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.